This life, what we see, is this it? What is life all about? I was once on the beach in Daytona, Florida, in the US of A. Oh, yeah. And anyone from America here? Oh, sweet. And I was with this group of people, and we were chatting and soaking up the rays. And I was in this group of people, there was one guy who was a bodybuilder. And he had one of those necks, you know, that sort of starts somewhere above his ears and then goes sort of down like that. Extraordinary looking guy. And somehow the conversation got round to the meaning of life. And I don't think I will ever forget what he said his belief was. He said that he honestly believed that this life for him was purely about perfecting his physique. Taking this frame that he had and making it perfect. Well, I have reached the pinnacle of that perfection. And I have to tell you, there must be more to life than this. What is this life about? Surely there's more than just the physical body. I think in a moment I'm going to take a picture of you using that camera on that tripod over there. I'm going to take a picture of you because you are beautiful. In the words of the great philosopher, Christina Aguilera, you are beautiful no matter what they say. They, in this case, being the scientists, because the message of cold, hard physiological, biological science is that you are plain and simple just a pile of dust, just a collection of chemical elements. If you don't believe me, listen to this. Apparently, the average human body contains enough sulfur to kill all the fleas on an average dog, enough potassium to fire a toy cannon, enough fat to make 7 bars of soap, enough phosphorus to make 2,200 match heads, enough water to fill a 10-gallon tank, enough carbon to make 900 pencils. Now, these facts are all very well and good, very interesting. The human body is a remarkable thing, complex and beautiful, especially mine. But strangely, it doesn't do much for your self-esteem, does it, to think of yourself purely in those terms? Especially if, like me, you think you could probably make a few more than 7 bars of soap. Believe it or not, though, that is the same view of you and me that the Bible has. Psalm 103 says this, "For God knows how we are formed. He remembers that we are dust. As for mortals, their days are like grass. They flourish like a flower of the field. The wind blows over it, and it is gone, and its place remembers it no more." Long before any scientist could distinguish the elements apart and work out what we are, the Bible points out we're simply organic entities. We're formed from the elemental components of the earth. In short, we are just dust. We are physical beings. And as that, we relate to that first, don't we? So maybe it's understandable how the modern era is so taken up with the physical side of life. As you look around, you can't help but see this complete obsession with everything physical. Gyms and diets and fashion and cosmetics and all of it, everywhere, all around. The body has become everything. I was reading this statistic. Apparently there was a 40% rise in cosmetic surgery in the UK last year. Britain spent £539 million and underwent around 690,000 cosmetic procedures, according to new research by the British Association of Aesthetic Plastic Surgeons, or BAPS for short. Fair enough, I suppose, but the trouble is, no amount of cosmetic surgery is going to deny the simple truth that we are just dust. This body is one day going to fade like the flower of the field. Now, in response to that, someone might say, yeah, okay, fair enough. Don't be stupid. I know the body is not everything. The answer lies in the mind. That is the key to exploring what is truly human. They might say, I believe this life is not just about physical beauty or even just physical survival. It's about progress and learning. It's about knowledge and education. It's about achievement. It's about growth. And that's right. Most of us want to achieve something, don't we? We want our mind, our intellect to create something that's going to make the world a better place to live in, a richer place, more complete. We want to leave a legacy to the next generation, something that says, she was here, and that mattered. He was here, and that meant something. Yes, intellectually, humanity is making progress all the time. But if we're honest, where is that progress taking us? And can we keep up with it? Albert Einstein put it like this: the significant problems that we face today cannot be solved at the same level of thinking we were at when we created them. You only have to look at the issue of global warming to know that's true. The 70s American rock band Kansas, they sang a whole depressing song about the futility of life. It was called Dust in the Wind. It said, all we do crumbles to the ground, though we refuse to see. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. And just maybe there's something in their message. When it comes to the power of the mind, the progress of humanity, where are we at really? Are we progressing, or are we just going round in circles? For example, any medics here? Any doctors, nurses studying medicine? There's a few. Let me give you this. Woo! A short history of medicine. Okay, you ready for this? A short history of medicine. Doctor, I have an earache. 2000 BC. Here, eat this root. 1000 BC. That root is heathen. Say this prayer. 1850 AD. That prayer is superstition. Drink this potion. 1940 AD. That potion is snake oil. Swallow this pill. 1985 AD. That pill is ineffective. Take this antibiotic. 2009 AD. That antibiotic is artificial. Here, eat this root. Now, of course, if we're taking medicine as an example, of course we're better off today. We're constantly making huge intellectual strides and technological advances. But whilst advancing in our ability to make things better, what seems to be clear is that we're at the same time we're getting more effective at destroying one another and the planet. Progress and the power of the mind has allowed us to become better healers and better destroyers, all at the same time. So somehow it seems to cancel itself out. There's a strange futility to it. The human brain is awesome. We should be, intellectually, ethically, we should be giants. We should have got it all sorted out by now. But the mind doesn't seem to be the answer. The broken nature of the world remains so evident. So much of what can only be described as evil every time you look at the news, every time you open the newspaper. And that's because we get things wrong. And some of that is innocent, some intentional. With some of it, we hurt ourselves, we hurt others. A long time ago, there was another song called Dust in the Wind, this time by the singer-songwriter Todd Rundgren. And he says this: tell everyone that I'm sorry, truly sorry for all the wrongs I've done. I never meant to hurt nobody. Lord, I never want to do no wrong. I've lied, I've begged, I've cheated, and I know my ship won't be coming in. As I lay me down to take my rest, I see that it's just dust in the wind. Hold my hand, hold it tighter, ever tighter. You must believe that I love you still. But my strength, it grows weaker, ever weaker, and my body has lost its will. Oh, my Lord, I've lost once again, and I've got no one to help me find my way. But I never wanted to hurt nobody. I never wanted to do no wrong. But we get things wrong, sometimes innocently, sometimes not. And even when it's unintentional, there are consequences. We live in a world, that's the way the world works. It's like if you park your car wrong, you get a ticket. This came to me in the post this morning, as if to exemplify what I'm saying. This is photographic evidence of me pulling over to the side of the road into a loading bay, and I mean, admittedly, I was in the wrong. I ran into a shop to check on, who was picking up one of our daughters. And I ran back outside. I got back into the car. I was in the wrong for 1 minute. One minute. I'd looked up and down the street for a traffic warden, look, okay, there's no one. I'll just pop in, ask my wife, and then I'll get back to the car and drive off. Little did I know, high up on a building somewhere, there was a camera watching my every move, just waiting for that moment. It got me. £60 sterling. That's a lot of money for 1 minute of parking. Big Brother is watching. Now, I have met many people who think that God is some sort of, supernatural traffic enforcement officer waiting in another dimension at a big bank of CCTV screens, just waiting, hoping for you to pull your car over onto the double yellow lines of cosmic misdemeanor. And then, bam, thou shalt pay the fine. Is that really the truth about God? The truth is we all mess up. The big question is, what does God think of us when we do? Could it be that there is something that goes beyond the frailty of the human body? Something that lies deeper than the deepest potential of the human mind? Some answer to my weakness and my inability. On Alpha, we have, we come in, we eat together, have a talk, and then the other main component of it is to sit together in small groups and to discuss. And anyone can say what they like. That's cool. On the first night, one of the questions is, if it turned out that God did exist, what would you ask? Go around the group, see what people would say. And over the years that I've been involved in the Alpha course, the responses are generally, they're a mixture of the humorous and the mind-bendingly weird, and the profound, with group reactions ranging from laughter to, good question. And that's great. That's what it's all about. And it was, to be honest with you, you hear the same things. Until one day, this guy in this group, a student called Steve from Roehampton Uni. All right. I think you're on your own. Roehampton University, and there's Steve, and it goes around the group, and everyone's saying the sort of questions, the sort of things that you would expect. And it got to Steve, and he looked at the floor, and he just said this: can I be forgiven? He was met by total silence in the group. It's a very good question. Is there forgiveness? Is there a hope of a fresh start? Let me read you some more from that same Psalm 103. The Lord is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in love. He will not always accuse, nor will he harbor his anger forever. He does not treat us as our sins deserve or repay us according to our iniquities. For as high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is his love for those who fear him. As far as the east is from the west, so far has he removed our transgressions, the things we've done wrong, from us. It's as we get real about our frailty, honest about our inability, we simply reach out for God and we realize he was there reaching out for us all along. All it takes is for us to reach out. What we look at on the Alpha course is how forgiveness comes through Jesus on the cross, and that changes everything. Our bodies are mortal. We're just dust. Our minds are limited. We are just dust. But the message of the Bible is we are so much more. So much more. Now, before I forget, let me take that picture with this camera. And this tripod is a little bit like life, actually. If you imagine the three legs, you've got the mind. This is one, and we work hard with our mind. And university students, you're working hard with your mind and developing that. And our body, we concentrate on the body, and that's great. And that's our life. And the third leg of that tripod is the spirit. And the underlying reason why our lives feel at best wobbly and at worst broken like that camera, is because our spirits are stunted. I failed to extend the leg for the spirit, if you like, representing that on that tripod, and it fell over. Similarly, our lives topple over when we neglect the spiritual dimension. We may have spent time and energy and money caring for our body, and that's right and that's good. We spend money, time, and energy caring for our mind, and that's absolutely right. That's brilliant, that's good. But when it comes to the spiritual side of life, and that's why life can feel so incomplete. So if there is a spiritual side to life, how do we experience it? One last thought before I shut up. It's arguably one of the most famous and most appreciated images in the world. Michelangelo's creation of Adam on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. And it illustrates God the Father breathing life into Adam, the first man, humanity formed from the dirt. Adam's name comes from the Hebrew word Adamah, meaning earth. Adam is quite literally the world's first dust man. Okay, that was a joke. The quaint English term for a trash collector. Adam was a dustman. Clearly not funny. Now, one theory of the meaning of this fresco is that God's position is one of full outreach, indicating that he is making every effort to reach out to Adam, to touch him, to bring new life. The new life of the divine spirit coming into Adam. Adam, meanwhile, with that slightly kind of looser arm that's going on there, seems a little bit relaxed, maybe a bit too relaxed. Doesn't seem quite as interested in reaching out. But the message is clear. All that humanity has to do is to reach out to God. And he's there. He's waiting.